episode 12, we asked a terrifying question. What happens when climate change begins forcing millions of people to move? Tonight, we stop framing the world and start debating it.
This is no longer theoretical.
And there are no perfect answers anymore.
Welcome back to the Crown Academy Debate Podcast. This is episode 13. We discussed it in episode 12 and framed it, so if you missed it, tune in to episode 12 to dial in the full picture. The actual debate. Counterfactual/scenario motion. This House would prioritize large-scale international resettlement agreements for climate-displaced populations over strict national border protection policies. Now remember, this is a counterfactual/scenario debate, which means we are debating an emerging future world, comparing competing responses, and evaluating which future society becomes more sustainable.
So we're not just arguing a policy, we're defending entire worlds.
Correct. Entire world's potential outcomes. The scenario: coastlines are flooding, droughts are worsening, food systems are destabilizing, migration pressure is rising globally, and nations now face a brutal question: protect borders first or prioritize humanitarian resettlement?
All right, I'll kick this off. The government believes climate displacement is a global crisis requiring global responsibility. Argument 1. Climate refugees are not traditional migrants. These people are not casually relocating, chasing opportunity. They are losing habitable land. Entire regions may become economically unlivable, environmentally unstable, and physically submerged.
And countries are supposed to absorb unlimited migration?
No, but if climate change is global, responsibility must also be global. Argument 2. Isolation creates instability. Strict border-first approaches sound protective, but long-term, they increase instability. Because mass displacement without coordination leads to the following: refugee crises, conflict zones, black markets, and ultimately, humanitarian collapse.
So your argument is managed integration is safer than unmanaged desperation.
Exactly. Argument 3. Shared humanity. At some point, this becomes moral. If entire populations are displaced, are wealthy nations really going to say, "Not our problem"?
And this is where government becomes dangerously idealistic. Argument 1. Governments owe primary duty to citizens. A government's first responsibility is protecting its own population, not because outsiders don't matter, but because of the consequences of infrastructure, housing, jobs, and healthcare are limited.
So, vulnerable people are abandoned?
No, but unlimited resettlement can destabilize entire countries. Argument 2. Social strain and political collapse. Large-scale migration pressures can create economic strain, political extremism, cultural backlash, social fragmentation, and when governments lose stability, everyone suffers. Argument 3. Prevention and redistribution. Instead of focusing primarily on relocation, we should focus on climate adaptation, regional stabilization, and investments near affected zones. Help people survive where they are when possible.
Solid setups. Time for our clash rounds. Kai, you're up.
Nova's world sounds stable, until millions have nowhere left to go.
And Kai's world sounds compassionate, until systems collapse under pressure.
You cannot solve climate displacement with walls.
And you cannot solve global instability with emotional guilt.
Pause. This is the essence of counterfactual debate. Both sides are predicting future worlds. The government world is cooperative, globally integrated, humanitarian first, but come the risks of strain, dependency, and instability. Now, the opposition's world is nationally stable, controlled, and security-focused. However, the risks are humanitarian exclusion, global fragmentation, worsening crises. All right, second clash, the long-term future. Go.
If nations stop cooperating, climate migration becomes permanent global conflict.
And if governments lose legitimacy internally, democracies themselves destabilize.
Climate change does not respect borders.
Neither does political collapse.
This debate ultimately asks, which risk is more survivable, humanitarian instability or systemic national collapse?
Climate migration is not a future possibility. It is an approaching reality. And if the world responds with isolation, millions will suffer unnecessarily.
Climate migration debates are difficult because both sides are trying to protect humanity. They just disagree on where survival begins. And that's what makes counterfactual debates so powerful. They force us to ask, what kind of future are we actually building?
And honestly, this debate is only getting more important.
Because the world is changing faster than most people realize.
If you want to sharpen your counterfactual debate skills, check out the Crown Academy debate breakdown series, including scenario analysis, comparative worlds, future impact weighing, counterfactual motion strategy, and don't forget the free worksheet linked below.
Just to recap, this is absolutely a counterfactual scenario debate, not a standard policy debate. The policy exists inside the world, but the real debate is which future world becomes more sustainable.
And I am not going to lie, this was a difficult and scary reality to think about. Neither side feels cartoonishly evil, yet we need to come together and use our brains. It's not about whose world is better. It's about getting out of our own way and collaborating if we are going to survive as a species. Just saying. Let us know what you think. We always read out comments. Your voices matter.
That's right. Thanks for tuning in and staying informed and curious. See you next time on the Crown Academy Debate Podcast.